Yo, let's watch another game review. This one I've actually played, Marvel Rivals, but I wanted to hear what IGN had to say about it because I'm not that big of a fan, so I want to hear what they have to say.
I'm not new to the hero shooter genre, having pumped well over 1,000 hours into Overwatch since its 2016
Gay! Fucking Overwatch player.
release. And it's hard not to feel like 2016 is exactly when Marvel Rivals was meant to be a thing. I should have been...
So yeah, that's one of the main things I don't like about Marvel Rivals. It's pretty much exactly like Overwatch, and I hated Overwatch, so I wasn't set out to like Marvel Rivals. Like, I'm not their target audience.
eagerly awaiting its launch while mourning the loss of Harambe, witnessing a low point in English football at the hands of Iceland, and crucially, riding the high of watching Captain America Civil War. That said, what we're getting...
Bro, this dude watches all gay shit. Fucking Captain America Civil War? What? Talking about football? This dude has terrible taste in everything.
In 2024 is a very fun hero shooter that I've had a great time with thanks to a chunky roster of varied heroes.
So yeah, they got a lot of heroes in this game. I get, well, a decent amount. I'm pretty sure I've tried out pretty much every hero when I played, and I didn't like anyone really. This guy's using Iron Man right now. He's one of the better characters, like easier to use, because he can fly.
As well as some solid maps and modes. What remains to be seen, however, is whether Rivals will find a fervent fan base like both Blizzard and Marvel did all those years ago.
Then this dude, Punisher, just posts up with a fucking turret. Hella annoying.
A task most hero shooters have struggled with recently.
Then Hawkeye, my brother likes to play with Hawkeye. He's pretty good with him, but I didn't have fun playing with Hawkeye.
But with a high level of care in each of its comic book characters, exciting combat for all skill levels, and a relatively...
For all skill levels. Yeah, I don't know, I kind of disagree.
Generous free-to-play model, Rivals is doing all it can to buck that trend.
The free-to-play thing is cool. I like that it's on Game Pass. That's pretty cool.
Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. Just ask Taskmaster. And it's not out of line to say the footprints of Overwatch really can be seen everywhere you step.
Yeah, I know, it's terrible. You can almost say it lacks originality. Yeah, so yeah, this game lacks originality. The characters, the aesthetics for the character are kind of terrible. Like, Hawkeye kind of looks weird. Venom was like unplayable. I hated using Venom, and you know, Venom's such a likable character. Like, how did they fuck Venom up? And who else? Hulk's supposed to be bulky, but they made Hulk look like cartoonishly weird.
In Marvel Rivals, it's 6v6 ensembles of...
I don't really like the way like any character looks. I mean, what's this guy?
Tank, damage and support equivalent classes, here called Vanguard, Duelist and Strategist respectively, battle it out in the familiar escort and point capture modes that become hero shooter staples. You'll either be pushing Marvel themed payloads through familiar locales like Wakanda, preventing them from reaching the...
I don't like the aiming system. It's hella hard to like hit people. See, look at Hulk. Hulk's not supposed to look like he's like extra rippled, or I don't even know, man. He looks like way too short and way too bulky, and that's what they did with Venom too.
their destination, or battling for possession of a contested zone in the center of a map. There's no reinvention of the wheel going on here, but these are battle-tested tug-of-war modes that act as an effective vehicle for rivals' superpowered action.
See, everyone's just like blasting at each other, like, and it's hella hard to hit people.
Look, I know I'm banging on a bit about Overwatch here in a Marvel Rivals review, but it doesn't take more than a match to see why for yourself. Even its menus and UI bear a resemblance to Blizzard's hero shooters.
Yeah, I just don't like it. I don't like that scope that they just showed on the gun. That's not fun to use. It's hard to use.
As uncanny as the
Very unsatisfying to use.
X-Men, but while not being the most original, it's hard to bemoan some of the hero designs, seeing as many are simply following fun archetypes, with roots stretching all the way back to Team Fortress 2. It's also really nice to see superhero character designs that understand and embrace their comic book origins, rather than the Suicide Squad approach of handing everyone assault rifles. And what seems like simple imitation at first can sometimes
So yeah, I mean, I do like that each character has their own abilities. They're just like, I just don't like their abilities. Like, no character was very fun to use, like, at all. I'm trying to, like, he's scrolling through characters and I'm trying to find the one that I actually was like to use. Oh, I think it was that red girl, that Scarlet Red girl. She's kind of easy to use.
Reveal itself to be more inspired beneath the surface. Psylocke's mutated mixture of up-close and ranged damage options are flashy and fun, as is Healer DPS hybrid Cloak and Dagger's shape-shifting suite of tricks. And Loki's...
Yeah, Cloak and Dagger was decent. Loki seemed kind of strong. Pretty strong.
Complex decoy-centered systems are a challenge to manage on the battlefield. It's pretty impressive to launch with a roster as large as 33 and for very few, if any, to feel completely redundant, with a good mix of face.
Well, I guess he's right about that. There's a decent amount of characters. Like I said, they're just like, I don't have any favorites. And the one that, like I said, Venom, I thought would have been my favorite. But, you know, they ruined him, and so it's like, I was hoping that they would drop some DLC for this, like, real fast, but I guess it's only been out a month, and they probably won't drop any more characters for a while, so I stopped playing it already, anyways.
Is seen from match to match.
Maximum pulse! Nobody contending with the pulse cannon.
While none are completely redundant picks, I've not enjoyed many of the tanky Vanguard heroes I've tried out yet, as they largely rely on getting stuck in where the action can get a bit chaotic as colour and noise floods the screen. They each play more like DPS heroes with bigger health bars, rather than valuable anchors that help the team secure a point. It's early days, but so far there
See, at least he knows what I'm talking about. Like, it's not even fun playing with Venom.
There appears to be a lack of emphasis placed on positioning and map awareness in general, instead of putting the focus on taking enemies on head first. On the whole, that means Vanguards are a collection of painfully slow-moving targets that can deal damage, but act just as effectively as giant damage spots.
Yeah, it's slow, it's kind of clunky. It's hard to, like, you know, use your abilities to, like, get up on people. And then there's certain people who are pretty good at the game, and they'll just, like, take advantage of noobs trying to, like, learn the abilities, but that's every game.
Distractions. Thankfully, the majority of the roster plays much better. I've been having a great time with Punisher's chattering turret that rips through enemies, Winter Soldier's hard-hitting hand cannon, and close quarters cybernetic arm, which prove a deadly duo, and Hawkeye's signature bow and arrow toolkit, complete with a highly satisfying headshot pinging sound effect. Look, I love it with Hanzo, and I love it here.
Double kill!
I've also been enjoying dashing around as Star-Lord. He's an exciting glass cannon that, thanks to his stripped-down moveset of dual SMGs and a speed boost coupled with a small health bar. Developer NetEase has a few other nifty tricks up its sleeve to make Rivals play just a little differently to hero shooters that have come before. Chief among those are team-up abilities.
Got something that needs to be blasted?
For example, when Star-Lord is paired with Adam Warlock, he's granted a self-revive on a long cooldown. These passive and active combos are a clever twist, and so far feel nicely balanced between momentum shifters when used correctly, without becoming complete game changers that make you feel like a slave to them when choosing heroes or villains at the start of a match. Other examples include picking Rocket Raccoon when your team has a Groot, which allows for the mouthy rodent to...
Yeah, I thought he would have been fun to use as well, the raccoon, but he wasn't.
literally add bark to his bite as he hops on his tree friend's back and rains fire down from there, granting him incoming damage reduction.
Ready for a boost?
I guess if you're a fan of that series, whatever, Avengers or whatever that is, you might like that. So, you know, this game just didn't have that many characters for me. I was a Spider-Man fan, and the Spider-Man character in this game is super weak, and the Venom is just like not fun to use. So it's hard for me to find a good character.
It encourages smart team construction without leaving characters behind or feeling guilt-tripped by others for not matching their incessant requests to team up. Add these synergistic systems.
Cloak and Dagger was decent. Star-Lord's decent. I mostly use the Red Girl because you can just like hold down the trigger for her and it does like continuous damage.
To the much appreciated lack of stun lock abilities, and Marvel Rivals really sings when the wheels are in motion. This is a hero shooter that wants you to liberally use the powers it grants, with barriers, both in a literal and metaphorical sense, coming at a premium. I was skeptical of the third-person gunplay at first, as traditionally I much prefer to be firing from a first-person perspective, but Rivals does a good job at keeping each weapon.
I actually do like the third-person gunplay. I just don't like this third-person gunplay. Fucking Unreal Tournament, you know? It should have been more like Unreal Tournament. Like, none of the abilities in this game really, like, hit. Just, I wasn't feeling it.
Feeling distinct from one another and satisfying to wield.
You made your last mistake.
It may appear approachable, but the skill ceiling definitely seems high, with a surprisingly steep learning curve for newcomers as you pick between characters with over half a dozen abilities to juggle. And there's no place to hide, or help the team in a less combative setting.
Yeah, got there.
Well, I think I'm gonna leave that there, since it's a fucking commercial. But yeah, I pretty much said everything about the game. It needs more characters, and the ones that they have I don't really like that much, so I stopped playing it already, and maybe I'll download it again if they update it, or if I fucking, I don't know. I probably won't though, because there's a lot of other games to play. So that's my review. Peace.